Hi all, welcome to another code snippet challenge. Right now you're viewing the code snippet which I've shared on my Telegram channel today. So this code snippet mainly focuses on polymorphic references. We have an inheritance approach, a particular class which is extending another class, and each class has its own member variables, and we are trying to create an instance, and those instances are going to be polymorphic references, and we are trying to access the members of those respective classes through the instance that we are creating. But this code snippet seems to be pretty simple, but we have a more important aspect of concept which need to be understood from the polymorphic references. So let's get into the IDE and see how it's going to impact in implementing a polymorphic or creating a polymorphic references. So let's go ahead and quickly create a class. Class name is going to be college 2, and let's create a main method. So with the base template, you can just go ahead and start creating the classes as per the code snippet. So the first class that we have here is class phone, and inside the phone class we have a variable called string keyboard, and the value for it is inbuilt, and we have another class called tablet which extends the phone class. So we have a phone class and we have a tablet class. Tablet class is extending the phone class, and tablet class becomes a child class, and phone becomes a parent for tablet. Now inside the tablet class we have a boolean variable which is called as a play movie, and the value for it is false. So right now we have two classes, and we have created a relationship between these two classes. So now we can go ahead and create an instance. The important part here is the instantiation part. So we have an instance created with a reference variable called phone type, and the actual instance for that is the child class reference. So the instance is the child class instance, wherein the variable is the reference variable is a phone type. So this is what we have right now in the instantiation part. So what we have to understand here before we move on to the next final line of the code snippet is this particular area of instantiation will impact the outcome of the code snippet, because if you notice, the instance is all towards the child class instance, which is referred by the phone class reference variable. Reference variable, it's just a reference variable, right? Reference variable is of type phone, and the instance is of type the tablet. So is this possible to create an instance of tablet and assign it to a phone reference variable? Yes, of course we can do it. Why? Because phone class becomes a parent, and the parent will accept the child class reference or the child class instance. So that's what is happening right now here. We have created a child class reference, and the child class reference is assigned to the phone class reference variable. So what we have to identify here is this is called as reference variable. Reference variable, and this is the actual instance that we have. So the instance is child class instance, which is getting assigned to the parent class reference variable. So the compiler will focus this as a phone, wherein at runtime this will be treated as a tablet reference, right? But the more interesting part here is this is slightly a polymorphic reference. Why? Because this phone, the phone class can accept any type of instance which is a child class of its type. So tablet is a child, so phone can accept the tablet instance. So let's say I have a smartphone. I have another class called smartphone, and the smartphone extends phone. Now in this case, again, the phone can accept smartphone. So compile time, this will be acted as a phone, whereas at runtime, this will be acted as a tablet, right? So that's why it's going to be more of a polymorphic appearance, right? So this is more of dynamic polymorphism, because we have the instance created is for the child, which is getting known at the runtime, and whereas the reference variables are treated to be a phone, which is known at the compile time itself. So if we go ahead for the final statement that we have in the code snippet, we are using this reference variable. The phone reference variable is going to be used in order to access the member variables of the respective classes. So the first one that we are going to access here is phone dot keyboard. This is not having any issue as such, because right now we have the phone is used to access the keyboard variable, which is belonging to the type called phone, right? So the keyboard variable is belonging to the phone class. So there is no problem out here, because the compiler sees this reference variable as a phone only. Now the next set of access is again using the phone dot, we are going to access the play movie variable. So this play movie variable, when we access, we are facing a challenge. So if you notice, the compiler is ending up with an error stating that, hey, I'm not able to figure out where this play movie is, because the play movie variable is not available in the phone class, but it is available in the child class. But which one we are using right now is, from the compile time perspective, we are only using the phone type. So literally the phone class should carry the variable of play movie. So when you have this type of referencing, like creating a child class instance and assigning it to the parent class variable, then at the compile time, the compiler will treat that as only the phone type, but not as a tablet. So we are not able to access the members of the child class through the reference variables of the parent class. We should not, right? But if we have a method approach, so let's say I have methods in there, then it's going to be different. Right now it's only for the member variables. So if I write string keyboard equals explicit build. So now in this case, we have we have written the keyboard here, okay, which is coming from the phone. But this doesn't make any difference in using the play movie. Play movie is still a part of the tablet, and you can see that the keyboard we are referencing is to the phone, right? So automatically the keyboard is referencing to the phone, even though we have a keyboard explicitly written inside the tablet again. So the problem is still there in the access of the play movie, because play movie is belonging to the tablet, not in the phone, wherein the reference variable that we have right now is only phone. So this will actually end up with an compilation error. So in order to overcome this compilation error, can we able to perform any castings in order to access this play movie? So let's say, for example, explicitly I'm just trying to cast them into a tablet during the access of this play movie. Okay, so when I typecast it to the parent to a tablet, now the compiler doesn't say anything, because it is referring that phone is of type tablet, and we are able to access the play movie of the tablet class. So when you select that, it is referencing to the tablet class. So now what happens here is, If in case you have a reference created under a polymorphic way, then you will not be able to access the child class members, that is the member variables, from the parent class reference variable. So now if we run this program, so we can see the output is inbuilt and false. So we get this phone.keyboard referencing to the parent. Okay, so it gives the output as inbuilt and the false. So even though you have the keyboard here, string keyboard with explicit built, we are not getting the explicit built because it is still referencing to the type of phone. So the reference variables will all be referred to the phone class only. So, but here the play movie is accessible. The same way here, if we further downcast it to a type of tablet, then we'll be able to access the keyboard of the tablet class specifically. Until then, you will be having an access only to the parent class. So you can see explicit built false. So we need an explicit typecasting. So phone is a parent class. You are bringing them down to a tablet, and practically that is possible to cast it to a tablet because what is there inside the phone is only tablet instance. But if in case you have a phone instance, explicitly or creating a phone instance, if you try to execute them, then you are trying to end up with an exception called Classcast Exception. Why Classcast Exception? You cannot convert the phone to a tablet because the phone, which is a parent, can't go into the tablet, which is a child. And literally, we have only the phone instance created here, and it is not carrying the tablet. So you will not be able to downcast them further. So if this is the case and you want to access the respective class members, then you need to go for downcasting them to the child class, because the reference variable we have created here is of phone type, and we need to explicitly do the downcasting. So the actual outcome of this specific code snippet is we are ending up with a compile time error. This will not raise any runtime error, but instead at the compile time itself it will very clearly state that, hey, I am unable to access the play movie because play movie member variable is not available in the phone, and moreover we are only using the phone class reference variable. Even though the instance is tablet, the reference variable is of phone. So this is the actual output of this particular code snippet. So we will connect up with another interesting code snippet. Until then, thank you.